I've said it time and time again that the weather in Southeast Texas is crazy unpredictable and we never know what to expect. But this is just truly mind-blowing to me. Yesterday we were doing a controlled burn along our and our neighbor's property line, trying to clear all of this really thick grass and vegetation out. And so I stayed outside until almost midnight, hosing everything down afterwards to make sure that nothing else burnt and it didn't spark and catch the rest of our yard or anyone else's yard on fire. And then this morning I came out and it was raining, so I didn't really have to worry about that. But our yard literally went from dry and us burning the property lines to this in less than 24 hours. And there are areas of our yard, and it's 6 to 8 inches deep. And my oldest actually walked all the way out to the property line and said that it was almost knee high in the deepest parts of our backyard. And it's crazy. And this is why I'm so thankful that we do have some raised beds in the front, because if not, we would have lost our entire garden. It would have just washed away. So I definitely think that getting this raised and getting some furrows in, that way there are some trenches dug that water can go in, would be a great idea. But one of the crazy things that we've actually talked about is getting a big 3,500 gallon storage tote for water and pumping the water of our backyard, filtering it, pumping it out of the backyard, and putting it in there and using it strictly to water the garden during times of drought. Because when we bought this property, we were in the middle of a 5-year drought, and less than a year in, Hurricane Harvey hit, and we realized that, hey, this area floods tremendously. And if you can see over here, it's kind of another area where we're clearing out a lot of the property. And it was catching pretty high because we wanted to clear this out. This property, the previous owner had for 25, 30 years plus, and she didn't clear out any of the tree lines, so it got really thick and really started taking over a good portion of the property. And although poison ivy does have a really important place in the forest, it's not so fun when everything in your yard's getting taken over by poison ivy, especially when you have small children. So this is kind of where we went from burning all of this and clearing out the line and worrying we were going to catch too much of the yard to this. Although I will say, Sugar is enjoying it, which is so funny because anytime that there's rain dripping, he refuses to go outside in the rain, but he absolutely loves bath time, and he loves running down all of these water puddles and splashing through them and exploring them. So it's just kind of funny to me because he's terrified of dripping water from the sky. Not thunder, not lightning, just water. Oh, that is not okay. There is, where is it? I don't see it, but there is a big snake back here in the water. I don't know where it went. Get back. Get back, sister. There's a big, big snake. Oh my gosh, that was not okay. Just walking back here in the water, and somewhere along here was a really, oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Just kind of hanging out there. I'm not okay with this. Okay, sister. Okay. That's fine, sissy. My little sister came out here just as I was walking past and videoing everything, and there was a good foot long what looked to be a water moccasin, which actually can be kind of aggressive from my experience. When I was a little girl, my sister actually got bit by one several times because she accidentally stumbled across the nest, and I don't like snakes, so it totally freaked me out to be stepping that close to a snake. Oh my goodness, that is not how I wanted to spend my day. Oh my goodness, that was terrifying. And this guy's no help because he could care less about snakes. The only ones that seem to be enjoying this, aside from Sugar and the snakes, are these ducks. They're loving the water. Our chickens are just staring out of the coop like, who did this? They look angry. I'm still so freaked out and my heart is racing. That was just not okay. These guys don't use this nest box that's in here. It's actually just, it was from our chickens. It used to be inside the coop, but we took it out and I just haven't moved it out of the pen. They actually just kind of lay on the ground inside of our the coop we have for them. It's a good 4-foot by 8-foot coop, so, and man, you can just see even their little pool is just covered. It just filled to the top with dirty water. And believe it or not, we actually change out the pool every day. Ducks they're just messy, but I really like them, and I especially like that there's all this water in their pen when there wasn't an ounce of it yesterday, and they are doing so well, and they are loving it. At this point, I feel like I could just fence in our backyard and let them have it like a pond, but I can't, especially with small kids and big snakes. So I'm still kind of freaked out by that. I don't think I'm going to get over it. I don't think I'm going to come back in the backyard for a while. And the worst part is that, of course, I'm walking around barefoot because I kind of like the connection with the earth and walking around without shoes on. It may sound weird, but it's just one of the quirks that definitely makes me me. But I just kind of wanted to film this and show you just how quickly conditions can change. And that's why when we have the chance to be outside and clearing all of this, we spend as much time out here as possible, because you can see just all the different vines kind of taking over and choking out the trees, and they're really bad, and it's just a buildup. And we've had a few trees just crash to the ground just in higher winds without any storms because of the vines. So it's definitely something we want to try and take care of. You can see the amount of just everything. We have everything from poison sumac and poison oak, and we have poison ivy for sure. So, I mean, just look how much of it's taking over. So I definitely want to get this cleared out, but I know a lot of times I show videos of our garden or about our animals, but a huge part of homesteading is preparing your yard, clearing it out, but it's also a lifestyle. It's also teaching your children and yourself and learning to appreciate different things and form that connection of back to where your food and everything else comes in. It's taking care of your health before everything else, and your family and your animals, and I really enjoy that. I really like the different pace of life, and sometimes you're exhausted and your body hurts and you don't know how you're gonna homestead the next day, but you do, and it honestly becomes enjoyable over time. But that's about it for this video. I'm way up high on a hill on the side of the backyard now, because there's no way you could pay me to go back in the water after seeing that snake. But this kind of gives you an idea of, you know, like I said, how quickly situations can change and how you just kind of have to shift gears. You know, I planned on being out here and clearing out more of this property line and just moving the coals around and slowly taking all this out, moving the logs down the line. And now I spent the day inside, you know, planning and cleaning and doing laundry, all of my least favorite things, because sometimes things are unpredictable and you just have to kind of learn how to go with it.